You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. You look good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. Not just in the Quad Cities, we're once again out at Deere Run as the John Deere Classic is taking center stage. Round 2 underway. It's cut day out here at the John Deere Classic. We're, of course, live in the Stonehouse in Andrew Lehman's office, the tournament director, allowing us to take over for a couple days. He's about ready to kick me out, I think. But we got him in just a minute as well. A big show set for you. If you're watching us live on YouTube, we appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. Please subscribe if you have. Thank you. If you have not, please do so ASAP, and then tell all your friends about what we're doing each and every weekday at 10 a.m. right here in the Quad Cities. We're also live on X. X has been very, very good to us. We want everyone to stay interactive, so there's a YouTube chat going on right now. Weigh in there or on X as well. We're also on Instagram at Matt Randazzo _OTA as well. The last streaming place you can find us is in Central Iowa. We're on the WHO streaming app as we speak. We love that. We love our viewers in Central Iowa. And the state of Iowa is pretty excited right now because one of their own here in the Quad Cities playing really good golf, and it's continuing today. We'll talk about Zach Johnson in just a moment as well. Last but not least, you can check us out on all the podcasting platforms as well, whether it's iHeart, Spotify, Podbean, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, put it Off There with Matt Randazzo, and listen to the show as well. I'd suggest today you watch it because the always handsome Andrew Lehman will be on with his belt game and his shoe game here in just a matter of moments. But most days, I always encourage listen, don't watch. You don't have to look at this for almost 2 hours every single day. The John Deere Classic is underway. Great round 1. Lucas Glover, one of the leaders after day 1 of the John Deere Classic at 8 under par. Zach Blair at 8 under as well. Those were big stories in the morning, but the biggest story of the day came in the afternoon with a familiar face back at Deere Run for the 24th time in his career. Zach Johnson teeing off on number 1 around 12:30 yesterday. Got off to a great start. He birdied 1. Played well, only 1 bogey on the day. That came on 9, and then they heated up down the stretch. He would eagle on 17, and a shot that'll have people talking for a long, long time, and then he also birdied 18 as well. How about an eagle, 6 birdies, and just 1 lone bogey? It was a round 1 64 for Zach Johnson. He was 7 under after the first round of the John Deere Classic, just 1 stroke back as well. And Zach Johnson coming here as a 50-year-old for the 24th time, and he called his first round efforts here at the John Deere Classic one of the most gratifying in his career. Let's take a listen to Zach Johnson after yesterday's round.
Is this as gratifying round as you can identify, other than maybe 2012?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's gratifying. Starting the week and looking at the forecast, the discussion with my wife and some of my team, I'm not suggesting others don't struggle in heat. I struggle immensely in heat. I have a protocol that I have to stick to before the day starts, before the week starts, in the evenings, and obviously during the course of the round. And honestly, just to survive, that sounds, just to have the energy to compete for 18 holes was a feat for me, and I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for that. But I've learned a lot. And yeah, my game's been good enough to show up. I haven't played much out here, obviously. I would say, I don't know if it's the most gratifying. It's one day, obviously. It's all the cliches. It's one day, one round. There's a lot more golf. However, given the wind conditions, it was trying. There was a lot of John Deere weeks we don't get a whole lot of wind. It's pretty stagnant, and it was humming a good 10 to 15 at times. So, with all that to say, and the condition of this golf course, I'm very, it's very gratifying.
So Zach Johnson extremely happy after his first round here at the John Deere Classic. He got an early start this morning, playing with some big names this morning as well and doing well once again. As of right now, as of 10:05 here on Friday morning, Zach Johnson, your current leader at the John Deere Classic, he's 9 under par, so 2 under, almost through his first 9, I believe, today. So he'll actually be coming past us here on 2 here in just a little bit as well. So he is your leader at the John Deere Classic. Tom Kim playing well this morning as well. I think he's at 7 under par. Some of the leaders from yesterday will get going later on this afternoon, and of course some big names coming up this afternoon as well, with Jordan Spieth, Ben Griffin, and others all teeing off this afternoon as well. So we'll go through some of those tee times later in the show, right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Also coming up on the show, Craig DeVrieze will check in with some news and notes and some feedback from round 1 and now a little bit of round 2 of the John Deere Classic from the Media Center here a little bit later on. And also Bobby Metcalf, our old friend, former longtime sports writer here in the Quad Cities, working here this week with WQAD, will join us in a little bit as well. But we're going to start off today's show with somebody who I owe a lot to, because for some weird reason, this young man decided, yeah, I'll go ahead and let Matt Randazzo hang out in my office all week long. So joining us now, the guy who actually, I guess, owns the place.
Yeah, maybe.
Andrew Lehman in his own office. How's the week, buddy?
It's been awesome. Warm, but to see folks come out here through the gates, in a week where it's been really warm, I think that's a testament to people's love for this event this week. The field that we have here in town, it's just been incredible, and hard to believe that we're approaching making a cut at the end of the day and turning our attention to the weekend festivities.
There's a lot I want to talk to you about, but I want to start with not this year, but I want to go back 20 years, because this is year 20. I know you don't. It's not like it's a cool thing for you, and I know it is, but it's not something you celebrate or in the top of your mind or whatever. Take me back 20 years. What's your first memory of this place or this event? Or take me back 20 years ago, intern.
Well, not a lot's changed in terms of the building.
Okay.
I remember I had a job interview for the internship on a Monday morning, and I was still at Iowa State, so I'm in Ames, and I come over here for the weekend, and my now wife was here at Palmer, and I remember saying, well, I don't even know where this place is. I had played the golf course one time in college, and we actually had the horn blow, and I was standing on 3T when it happened, and we didn't get to go back out. So
you played 2
That's a little weird to have stood right here next to the building, and then I end up here 2 years later.
Wow.
But I remember driving out here, and the cart path and the driveway split. And now I laugh at people who drive down the cart path, but I drove down the cart path.
Did you really?
Yeah, but I was young, ambitious, probably, very, very naive. And, these folks welcomed me in with open arms and got through tournament week. And I knew that Liz Huizinga was going to quit and leave. She wanted to move to North Carolina on Monday, but I was the only one on the staff, the intern, staff of 5 who knew this. And so she walked into Claire's office on Monday morning after the tournament and said, hey, it's been a great run here, but I'm moving to North Carolina and I'm putting in my 2-week resignation. So there I am. The intern desk here used to sit right in front of the bathroom door. Nothing like guarding the bathroom. But Claire, I don't know if he made a decision on his own or if he got the board or exec committee involved, but I had a job offer that afternoon, and I slow played him a little bit. I told him I needed to think about it.
Yeah, well, that's smart.
And I remember going to the parking lot, and I kind of did the Elaine Bennis dance, and I called my now wife, and I said, well, I just got a job offer, but I'm going to make Claire sweat it out a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sure he was sweating.
Yeah, probably. He's just a warm body to fill a seat.
Yeah. When did you know, and this is probably cliche, but like I always use the analogy like back of your baseball card. Like the back of my baseball card for so long had 4 letters on it, not the 4 you're thinking, but WQAD. And then like I'm just like, that's how I was brought up. Like you kind of just build with something and go. A lot of people bounce around from place to place. Like the back of people's baseball cards aren't always just one spot. Yours is just one spot. When did you know at one point, like, or do you remember a moment where you're like, I want to stay here? Because I know there's been opportunities elsewhere. When did you realize, or did you know that like, I want to stay here as long as I can?
Gina graduated from Palmer in February of 2009, and our options were open at that point.
Yeah.
You know, she wanted to own her own chiropractic business. Quad Cities, it's a daunting operation with as many chiropractors are here. Although I'll say the marketplace I think really supports chiropractic.
And she's the best in the business. Give
There
a
you
plug.
go. There
Give
you
a
go.
plug.
Bendorf Chiropractic
There you
Wellness
go,
Center.
plug.
Um,
Not a sponsor, but could be. No,
but
I'm just
could be.
kidding.
We looked at Wilmington, North Carolina. We looked at Denver. Denver still had a PGA Tour event at the
Yeah.
time, and then that went away. And we looked at Kansas City. And then I just remember we sat down we lived in an apartment, and we said, this is, I think, is turning into my dream job, and I want to give this a go and make this a career. For whatever reason, she said yes, and we stayed here because of me. Ultimately, it's been the best decision we ever made. To your point, there have been opportunities to leave here. I've probably somewhere between 10 and 15 throughout 20 years. And this place has always been special to me. And it's the people, it's the event, it's the community, it's our title sponsor. And this isn't necessarily replicated at the extent that it is here every week. Obviously, big cities have a lot of other things going on, and we have so many great things here in the Quad Cities to do as well, as specifically in the summer. But when you think about the fact that we're bringing in 144 world-class PGA Tour folks into this community, and they're going to be here for a week, it's pretty awesome.
You look at it, and obviously there's a goal and a path. Was it always, when was it his job, Claire's job? When was it like, did you know off the jump, like, hey, I eventually want to be, the tournament director here? How did you define your career path as you went on here at Deere Run?
I mean, I'd have been fine working for Claire for another 50 years. Claire was an unbelievable boss. Everyone here just still to this day loves him. If he had stayed, that was obviously I wanted to be considered for the opportunity and the responsibility, but if he were still here today, I'd still be just as happy as I am today, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Some companies don't reward loyalty. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but sometimes we do more here, I think, in the Quad Cities. You were rewarded here. Can you talk to that? Because sometimes, they say you got to go sharpen your teeth elsewhere before you can do. You were rewarded not for just loyalty because you could do the job, but do you feel like your loyalty paid off, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah. I mean, you can't say it didn't. I think it's also a byproduct of a small work environment. It's a small staff. Really, it's a small universe when you look at, I know we have 2,400 volunteers, but when you look at the board, the committee chairs, the volunteers, it's really not that big.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people giving, of their time and their talent and their energy, but maybe a little different in a corporate setting, but, in the nonprofit world, I think there's a certain trust with there's a lot of event companies that run events and don't have people that live in the marketplace. And to me, I shake my head at that because I want the local business leaders, the local community to have a relationship with us, whether that's me, whether that's Jen on my staff as the sales director, Marshall as the assistant tournament director. You look at Annika, Michaela, how ingrained they are and giving of their time and serving on committees and boards, and that's across the board. So I want everyone on our staff to feel like they are a direct conduit to the community, and because we represent this community, we represent John Deere. We represent the PGA Tour, and we represent this community and all of our constituents, whether that's our donors, our sponsors, our nonprofit partners. I mean, you name it. We have a responsibility to carry this torch forward. Andrew
Lehman joining us on Off There with Matt Randazzo. You look at, like yesterday we had Decker on. God bless him.
And sat here?
Yeah, and I asked him, I said, we know some similarities, a lot of similarities between you and Claire. What are the differences? I'll ask you maybe both. Like, obviously, there's going to be similarities. You worked with him for so long. You learned a lot from him. But there definitely are differences. Your thoughts on similarities, differences when it comes to you two, besides...
He's better looking.
I was going to say, besides, like, you're a
better golfer.
Fan, he's a Packers fan.
Yeah, he's a Packers fan.
He's better shoes?
No. No, my belt game and shoe game is stronger than his. But honestly, like... the transition when Claire, and it was a hard day for all of us the day he left. Yeah. And I can tell that story if you want.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
The transition from Claire to walking out the door for the last time as the leader of this organization, you know, it was sentimental. It was sad. And it was like, he used the analogy. It was like the speedboat in the lake, and he was the water skier, and he let go. Oh. And the water skier slowly enters the water, and the boat just keeps going.
Oh, jeez.
That's the way he says it. He's welcome here anytime. He knows that. He's here a lot, which is awesome. You know, it's an open door policy, and it's so much fun to see him out here. You know, he had his list of guys that he definitely wanted to say hi to. It was highlighted. So, you know, I hope he gets out here at some point the rest of this week and takes it in. And because, you know, he's such a huge part of the success and history of this event, and it's our responsibility to make sure that we're, you know, shepherding that forward.
He was on the show yesterday as well. He's having a blast. Like, you could just tell, like, and
retirement looks good on him.
You know, stress. I mean, he went from having a lot to do to, like, now kind of looking around and seeing what the event is outside of being the tournament director. He said he purposely stayed away for 1 year and just kind of let it go and let it grow. What was your thought process when you got it? Because you have an amazing event that's, I don't want to say given to you, but like, you have a great product. You didn't rest on your laurels, or you didn't just sit back and hope to maintain. You were aggressive when you came in and made some changes and not changes I don't want to say changes, but maybe some advancements, if that's a better word for it. You were aggressive. Is that a safe word to say when it came to starting?
Yeah.
Maybe not by choice.
I mean, I saw the clip of Decker. I always go back and watch all the episodes post tournament.
A little busy, I understand.
But I did see the clip online of Decker, and I think he said risk taker. And to me, we were handed this museum art painting that was perfect. And we could have kept going with it the way it was, and it would have been fine, and we would have been, you know, we would have still been successful. There is an entrepreneurial approach in this office, and we have a saying: there's no bad idea. You know, we may put it in a box, and it may not come out for another year or two, and we may need to refine that idea, but there is no bad idea.
Yeah.
So in the event business, you know, we've got a great foundation that had been built over 20 years, and for us, it was about how can we make this bigger, better, attract more people. We need to take maybe a little bit different approach with recruiting and go out a little later. And I don't know that there's an exact science to recruiting. Sometimes it just plays out. And we saw that last week during Advance Week where guys committed so late. But we wanted to make sure that we were having something for everybody, because not everybody that comes out here is a golf fan, you know, and we know that. But can we turn them into a golf fan before they leave? And that's a responsibility. And I've got this little quote right here that I like to remind. It's kind of fun to do the impossible by Walt Disney.
It's a perfect example of it. Is it 4 or 5 years?
Concerts?
No, for you.
Claire was around in 22 as executive director. I was tournament director. So this is my 5th year, but my 4th year with Claire, without Claire.
And is it safe to say, like, the first 4 or 5 years, let's say 4, like, is defined by concerts? Is that, now I don't say defined by, but is that the headline? Is that what you're known for?
Probably.
If that makes any sense?
It's a leap of faith.
Is that,
I mean, we took a leap of faith. I mean, you've heard me tell this story.
Yeah, tell
it. The March phone call. We had taken a trip to the Caribbean in January. We weren't going to go anywhere on spring break, and at the last minute we go down to Gulf Shores, and John Deere lines up a phone call, and I got to take it while we're down there. And I'm playing golf with my son and 2 folks we don't know. And at the time, my son, he's 15, so he's 11 at the time, and I'm like, hey buddy, you're going to have to carry the conversation while I try to play golf in AirPods and try to do the best I can. And I remember getting to the end of that hour-long phone call thinking, there's no way.
And that phone call was just like, hey, we want to do
this. Was exploratory.
Okay.
This was John Deere and ultimately the company that we're using to help get artists here. And I just remember hanging up the phone, and I think we had maybe 2 or 3 holes left, and driving back to this house we had rented and telling my wife, like, this is insane.
So when did you get on board, though?
I kind of thought it would fizzle out, quite honestly. I mean,
I have those ideas too.
But as time went on, you know, you started to think, and all of a sudden there's an excitement, and it's like, well, this is a challenge.
But that's because, like, you definitely.
I didn't say no.
Yeah, you didn't go into this kicking and screaming. Like,
no.
I mean, I know that. Like, it wasn't like, I can't believe they're making me do this. You know, like, you have your kid.
No,
and,
it
like,
was.
He has to go do something. They don't like it, but they're going to do it. That wasn't you. You were on board.
Yeah, no,
obviously.
definitely on board. And I mean, honestly, when your title sponsor wants to do something, we better give it our best shot to make sure we can try to implement it. But it went from, I don't think this is possible, to now I've got a 15-hour drive back from the Gulf Shores, and
To think about it.
we left at like 4 a.m, and I had a lot of windshield time to myself, and I'm going, I think we can do this.
Yeah.
And so I remember I talked to Mara about the week after, and it went on for another month where I'm like, I don't even know. And then it was like,
Because
okay.
it was late in the game the first
But it was
year.
like, yeah, okay, I think we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Why did you, and I don't want to say why did you rush it? That's a bad way to put it. But like, was there a thought process or a thought of like, okay, this is an idea, but man, we're getting close to like this year. Let's just shelf this.
I think
for
I had
this
7
year.
people that were a little leery of me at the time of what?
Yeah, I mean, you have to come back and tell the house, hey, by the way, we're in the concert business.
We're in the concert
Surprise!
business. And then, hey, we get the announcement out like the second week of June, 2.5 weeks.
Well, that's my point. Is like, did you think of like, hey, this is a good idea, but let's not rush it. Let's wait till the following year and launch it that year. Why did it? Why was it? I mean, was it just like, hey, we're doing it
because we can do this.
Wow,
we can do it, and we're gonna do it. And
you've done it.
And Decker, I remember the meet and greet with Darius Rucker, and that's the only meet and greet I've gone to. And I just needed to make sure it was going to go okay.
Yeah.
And he had this security guard that would have just popped my head off if he wanted to. I mean, he was huge. But I remember, do you remember the scene from Varsity Blues where they open the door and the sunlight hits them?
Yeah.
We're in the meet and greet, and things are going well, and I hadn't walked out back yet. I hadn't seen the back of the clubhouse, and the door opens and it's just this ray of sunshine comes through, and I just see a silhouette. It's Decker. And he's like, you don't have enough restrooms. You don't have enough bar lines. It's pandemonium. And I remember looking at him going, we are who we are for tonight. There's nothing I can do about it right now.
Yeah.
And I remember it took us almost 2 hours to get people out of here the first night. And we went right back to the trailer, our group, and we huddled. And how can we make the bar lines better for Sunday? How can we address the restrooms? And we've got to cut down on these bus lines. And we got people out of here in less than an hour on night 2. And there were more people.
Take me to that meeting real fast, because there was probably a sigh of relief. There was definitely like, and that's what everything is. I think if you're in any business, we used to do the same thing with like the 19th hole, whatever. Hey, that was good, but like, what do we need to do differently and better? But was there a sigh of relief, excitement? Was there some high fives? I mean, it was a success. Yes, you had to tweak some things that you just mentioned, but there was a sense of success, correct?
1,000%.
Okay.
It was a high and a euphoria like I don't know that I've ever experienced before in this job. To have pulled that off and to get to the end of it, I just remember like, I think my hands were shaking. We were getting high fives from spectators leaving. That was awesome. Everyone was in a great mood. We've adjusted the bus lines now. We've got a DJ out there playing music, and we just want it to be fun. The data points would show you that we've taken this event from closer to a 2.5 hour radius, closer to 5.
Yeah.
So when you look at all the great things that are happening here from the charity standpoint, the economic impact standpoint, we're drawing people to the Quad Cities who aren't coming here potentially without the golf tournament and or the concerts. And what's really cool is folks that came in 23 for the first time are now coming back multiple days, and they're coming back on days where there's no concerts. So I consider that mission accomplished.
That's 100%.
We've turned maybe golf fans that weren't huge concert fans into both, and we've turned concert and music fans into golf fans, and we've blended it together. It's a unique setup. It's not your everyday. It's not your everyday concert.
I think I heard you say on another interview this week that you're getting pretty good at it. And that was
I don't know that
way.
we're not experts, but we don't stress about it.
I mean, like, and it wasn't in a cocky way, but like after 4 years of doing something, you feel more comfortability is a thing right now.
Yeah, and the one thing that throws us for a loop is the one thing we can't control, and that's weather.
Yeah, but you can't do that with the golf either.
But this is the inside baseball. Last year on the 4th of July, it's Friday.
Yeah, I was here.
And the meteorologist here for the tour, no offense to any meteorologist in town, this guy never misses.
Yeah.
When he says it's going to storm in 10 minutes or it's coming in 30, I can set a timer and he's going to be within 2 or 3 minutes. It's spot on. So we get the weather report on the 4th of July last year that, hey, we're going to probably play in threesomes and we're going to shoot for a 3 o'clock finish. We think you have about an hour window to get your concerts in, maybe 90 minutes. Okay, well, the set's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So we go to work. We start talking with our team here. We got to have John Deere. We want their opinion on this. Dierks Bentley, it's 4th of July. Dierks Bentley's playing to 400,000 people on Broadway in Nashville that evening on the 4th of July. We have to get him to the Quad Cities for a 3 o'clock show.
Wow.
3:30 show.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. So obviously it starts with the PGA Tour. That's got to go back to headquarters. Ultimately, TV here locally, the CBS team has to say yes. We all have to say yes. Then it goes to New York, to the CBS headquarters. They have to obviously alter their broadcast window, and they're going to have to play a replay from that 3 to 5 window. It alters everything for us. It shifts the day a little bit later because we're going in threesomes. We're not out here at 6:45. I think it was maybe 7:30. But we get it in, and the longest component was getting the PGA Tour home office because it's 4th of July. No one's open. It's 4th of July. We can't get a hold of anybody. So we get the call late. The concert team is like, look, we have to get Dierks' team notice so that they can get here on time. And ultimately we get it across the board. And I think back to, we shortened the set from 90 minutes to 60. And he puts on an unbelievable show in the middle of the afternoon in the fairway. And then we go right into logistic mode and we're getting people out of here. The last person gets on the bus, and within 10 minutes, it unloads. And a tip of the cap to Stuart, the meteorologist here from the PGA Tour, because he had it to the minute.
But what's crazy is, and people think like, okay, you got to get that concert in. It's not just about getting the concert in. You can't get the concert in and have it be done.
It's about safety.
And seeing everybody on the course and just the end of the world coming. You have to get everybody to where
we're not ever going to make a decision that is going to put anyone's safety in jeopardy.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew Lehman joining us off there with Matt Randazzo, talking concerts. We got to talk some golf here as well. The 4 years of doing this, I think last year I talked to you and I'm like, Andrew, this is this field, and you're like, yeah, it's pretty good. And I maybe even the process this year, we talked a little bit here and there, and like I think you were excited, but I don't know. I know that Friday was big. I know last Friday. Can you take me through that day? Because we talked with Claire yesterday. It had been a minute since like there's been huge Friday announcements at the deadline. And I think even go back the whole time with Claire, none of that impact. What was your Friday like last week? Good day.
Yeah, good day. The Spieth camp reached out earlier in the week. Hey, we think it's a possibility. And we had moved on. It was a no. We didn't think there was any chance he was coming.
I think I talked to you the prior week.
And it was like everyone, is Jordan coming back? Is Jordan coming? Because we felt like we had a really good chance to get him back last year, and he and Annie had their third child right around our tournament. So it wasn't going to work in his schedule, and we were okay with that. And we were really proud of the field we had going into Advance Week. And I thought that had a chance to challenge last year's field. So it's Tuesday. We're going to find out Wednesday. Nothing. We're going to find out Thursday. Nothing.
And you're not that crazy. Like, you don't text out like anymore.
No, I'm not. I'm just leaving him alone.
You don't be that weird guy.
And then I send his team a note on Friday morning, like, hey, I understand he's playing this morning. Just wanted to check in. We're trying to find him a house, and we've obviously a family's going to have to move out of their house. So we've got some logistical things we need to take care of here. And she's like, hey, I'll be back in touch when he's done. I would say it's promising. So Friday, Advance Week is nuts anyway, but it's still kind of rattling around in the back of the head. Like, hey, if this happens, it's going to be pretty spectacular. Yeah. But if it doesn't, we're okay with that. And the text comes through at 3:15. All in, JDC bound.
And that's
so he's playing.
That's from the agent.
It's his manager.
Okay, yeah.
But there's no cut at Traveler, so he's playing. All 4 days. And then they're coming. I go out and we've got a horn. We've got two things out there in the main room. We've got a bike horn that Claire Claire commandeered it, we'll say. We won't say stole. He commandeered it from Tony Carpita's house at his chairman's party back in 2018. And it is the most obnoxious. It's like a bike horn that would have been on a bike from the Sandlot.
Tony's lovely wife is probably thrilled.
Yeah,
he
it was in the
got rid of
garage. And
that,
he's like, we got to have this. It's got this clamp.
Yeah.
And then there's a real affinity for Shanghai Chinese food in this office from Mylan.
Yeah.
So we have a gong out there when the food is here. But the bike horn is attached to the gong. And I just went out there and I started honking and it didn't stop. I mean, not a one, not a two, just boom, 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 boom. You know, it's going. And everyone comes running out and Jordan's back, he's coming.
That's awesome.
And I come back, I sit down and I start looking at the list. I'm like, oh. Keegan Bradley.
So
Jacob
they just pop on the list.
There, no communication. All of a sudden, they're just there. Keegan Bradley. We had some conversations with Jacob Bridgman's agent earlier in the week, and it wasn't looking likely. 25th player in the world, by the way. And then Daniel Berger, who has had a relationship with John Deere over the years, all of a sudden is on the commitment list. So when do you pick up 4 top 50 guys on a Friday at 4 o'clock at the deadline? And I just remember at 4 o'clock, there's a meeting up in the PGA Tour office as we close the field. We've got to make 10 at-large Pro-Am picks, finalize the sponsor exemptions. There's some logistical work that happens from a paperwork standpoint. And then, we did an interview with WQAD and the Times. But I remember it's a 5-minute drive from my office up to the trailers. And I don't know that 5 minute, it felt like it took 30 seconds because I was just like in ecstasy. Like,
it's amazing.
This field is unbelievable, and we are about to start announcing Jordan Spieth and Keegan Bradley. And I mean, like, that's the challenge with this business. It's hard. Is there are guys that are on your commitment list that you might start building a marketing plan around.
Yeah.
And then they're not in your field by the time you get to tournament week, or you do this entire marketing campaign in the lead up, and then this happens, and it's like, okay, readjust, and now we've got to get this out to the community. So what I will say is the Spieth effect for us is ticket sales go bonkers.
Yeah.
He is in there, and by the way, it's an affinity for all of them, but he's in the trio with Zach and Stricker here. Yep. And you kind of lose the media buzz at 4 o'clock on a Friday, but who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
But over the weekend,
ideally it would have been like Wednesday
or even 9 a.m. on Friday.
Yeah.
But over the weekend we just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and hey, Keegan Bradley was just the Ryder Cup captain.
It's crazy. I mean, those 4. I remember putting out a social media post that, with your help a little bit with some numbers, but you went. I think it was 25, 38, 49, 50. Like, that's a pretty good Friday. When it comes to,
doesn't happen here very often.
So let's move into this week. It's been a great week so far. Yesterday was awesome. I got to ask you, he's out in the course right now, but we'll just focus on what he did yesterday. To see Zach come out here and shoot a 64, I don't want to say like I'm a genius or anything, but in golf, if you're playing well, you're playing well. Like I made the analogy last night at dinner that, like, it's not like on the Champions Tour the defense is easier. Like, you're playing golf. There's no, and it's going to equate. And he loved this place. Did I think he'd come out and shoot a 64 in round 1? No, Zach, I didn't. But your thoughts watching him do what he did, finish the way he did with an eagle on 17, a birdie on 18.
How about that putt from off the green on 17?
Unreal. But the thing is, and he would be the first. I think he said in his post that, like, he's like, I mean, that's just. I mean, he said it was luck, but there were a few. I mean, he lipped out a couple birdies that, like,
I mean, he could be in the lead, right?
It all evens out. Like, you give him those 2 birdies, he puts that one close. But yeah, he just played outstanding. He was a machine. Like, he's not going to outdrive you. He's not going to outflash you.
He won a Masters by laying up on every par 5.
It's amazing. But anyways, people don't care what I think. What your thoughts watching Zach? And I know I mean, your relationship with Zach is great. From a professional standpoint and a personal standpoint, watching that yesterday.
Well, what I'll say, obviously, Lucas and Zach, 2 former champions of ours, guys that play here a lot, know the golf course, understand the intricacies of the greens. The golf course is playing really firm. I don't know what it is right now with a little bit of rain overnight, and they were actually watering some fairways last night when I came down here to the Stonehouse. But we talked about it, and for the viewers, I can't bet on golf, so you know I don't, and I don't have a rooting
For the
interest.
viewers, I have Zach to make the cut, and
That's a pretty good bet.
I put the little like celebration out yesterday to my group of friends, and like it's only Thursday. I'm like, obviously you haven't watched because he's 7 under.
Yeah,
so.
no, but to see what Lucas did early doesn't surprise me, and then to see what Zach does in the afternoon. I caught him after his interviews up at the flash area behind the clubhouse, and I might have slapped his hand a little too hard. I felt bad after. Like, dude, you got golf to play.
He just withdrew. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's on me.
Yeah,
that's on me.
I'm kidding.
It was his left hand too.
That didn't happen.
But he just said, "How about that?
How
about that?
Is it? Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Is it sustainable for both of them?
Yes.
I think so too.
Yes. Now, I mean, someone's going to get hot today. Somebody's going to be up on leaderboard who wasn't on the leaderboard. Like, I remember Jordan going 71-61 or whatever it was. Put him right back in contention, ultimately goes on to win. Yeah, he's going to be just
There's
fine.
some guys that are just right where they need to be.
How about Preston Stout, too? Like,
yes.
You know, an amateur, right? Sponsor exemption. Oh, hey, by the way, get to know your sponsor exemptions.
Yeah. I think there's like the Max Homa. I think he was 4 under going into this afternoon. You look at, Chris Goddard is right where he needs to be.
I caught him up there too because they were right near each other, and he's walking around with a real confidence, and it's fun to see.
Yeah, that's like my younger kids who maybe don't understand golf as much are like, well, he's this many strokes back. I'm like, he is right where he needs to be. It is a marathon, not a sprint. He's a
go watch Chris Goddard play golf because it is fun to watch.
Yeah. And Jordan, who has a crazy day with underneath the trash can.
By the way, he makes birdie from there.
I know. But you go back.
Never give up, kids.
13, I think he shot a 70. 15, I think he shot a 71 round one.
He won 71-61, I believe.
And yes, he would have loved to have gone out and shoot 4 or 5 under yesterday, but this afternoon, when it comes this afternoon, he can easily be in the mix by the time this weekend hits.
It's going to be fun to see how today plays out. There's a lot of guys that I think can make moves. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think somebody's going to come from off that first page of the leaderboard and be there. You know, Zach Blair, he's awesome. Mm-hmm. Another guy that's been good to us over the years, and Zach actually had a pretty good U.S. Open. But it's going to be fun to watch and see it unfold. But it does not shock me to see, you know, our 2021 champion and our 2012 champion playing well because they play here. They play here a lot.
Andrew Lehman joining us on Off the Air.
46 and 50, I believe, are their ages.
We had this talk at dinner last night, and this is no offense to Lucas, who's not going to listen to the show, and Zach.
I'm going to tell him what you said, though.
Zach might at some point, and we kind of talked about it. If you would have asked me maybe last year, before the Champions Tour, before Zach turned 50, we knew he turned 50, and if you would have asked me who was older, Lucas or Zach, who would you have said? Be honest.
No comment.
Am I right though?
Hey, listen, we're not
Lucas.
Listen,
we're not looks, but just he's acted like an older gentleman for years.
Well, but he's
just more laid back.
He's laid back, Southern boy.
Yeah.
The dude grinds. I mean, I watched him putt last year. He got here on Sunday. He putted for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, either things are really good and we're just trying to maintain, or he's really grinding and working on something. But, I actually thought, Lucas had a real shot at the Ryder Cup team here a couple years ago. But he's been unbelievable. As close as we are with Zach, I think my relationship with Lucas is probably, very similar as it is with Zach. Obviously, longevity and him being here all those years helps.
Before we let you go, going into the weekend, I know like we kind of joked before we started that, man, it'd be nice to Saturdays used to be your easy day, and it's not. You have some concerts to do and all those kind of things. What do you look forward to this weekend? I know it's super busy. I know the golf is super important. What's your weekend like? I guess not look forward to the most, but what's this weekend like for you? Is it a blur?
It is. It's hard to believe it's almost over. But I'm really excited for this America 250. We're calling it the America 250 Extravaganza.
Yeah.
Golf's not really a sport that lends itself like a football game or a baseball game and a kickoff and a first pitch to, have this big celebration or patriotic moment. So to be able to do that before the Carrie Underwood concert, and all the logistics. I'm not. This is not me too. I've kind of taken it on. Like we found Michaela helped me find the band. We're going to use St. Ambrose's marching band to do the national. We wanted to weave it in and have a local tie.
I love that.
So we're going to have about 35 St. Ambrose band members out here. They'll do the national anthem. We invested in the large American flag, which never thought I'd own an American flag that weighs 100 pounds.
It's crazy.
The fireworks, the parachute team that's jumping in. It all seemed like a great idea. Three or four. No, it is. But like 4 months ago, it was like, oh, no problem. And then it's like, we got to run logistics for all this.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Another shot in the dark. I have this motto, and it's going to come back to bite me at some point. But for some reason, somehow, some way, it always works out for me. And I don't know why.
I know, and I'm going to take just not even just for you, but for this place, this house, this tournament. I mean,
these guys are rock stars. I'm the anchor dragging them down.
I used to say Claire had a 4-leaf clover shoved up his. I mean, like everything that there was you go 2019. You can go before that even. Wasn't Kenny Perry 2008? Or he was 05?
No, he was 08. Yeah,
so,
all great because that was hold on because that was the infamous photo of Decker.
Yes.
Holding the trophy up to him.
Yes.
It's all great in 08, Decker.
Do you want to do the John Deere Classic Challenge? I don't think I have my phone by me. If I give you a year, can you give me the champion?
Hold on, is this in my 20-year run?
Okay, yeah. If I keep it in your 20-year run, you can do that easily, right?
Do you want me to go through them?
Can you do that?
I think I can give you all the champions.
What are you going backward?
I'll start in 06.
Okay.
John Senden.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Senden to the British Open.
Senden, Jonathan Bird, Kenny Perry, Stricker 9, 10, and 11.
Yep.
Zach in 12.
Yep.
Zach gets beat in a playoff in 13 to Jordan Spieth. We had Brian Harmon in 14.
And he finished second there too.
Yep.
So he finished first, second. Go on.
Brian Harmon in 14, Spieth in 15. 16 was August. That was Ryan Moore. Yep. Goes on to sink the winning Ryder Cup putt at Valhalla. 17 is Bryson. 18 is Michael Kim. Dylan Fratelli. 18 is Michael Kim. 19 is Dylan Fratelli. No tournament in 20. Glover in 21. 22 is JT Poston. 23 is Sepp Straka. 24, Davis Thompson. 25, Brian Campbell.
And the 26?
It's going to be fun to see it play out. I look forward to adding it to that list.
TPD. Hey, take that, Decker. Decker did pretty good yesterday with my
By the way, he's
more old school.
I think he threw out. Did you give him 98? It was JP Hayes, right?
I gave him 99, and then he said,
or maybe it was 99. JP Hayes.
Said, yeah, he was.
Because J.L. Lewis was Michael Clark 02? Well, before me, 2005 was Sean O'Hare. 2004 was Mark Hensby. 2003 was VJ. 2002 was it J.L. Lewis or Michael Clark?
Thanks for watching. Don't. Hey, you already won. Don't have to. It was like.
Now, do you think I could give you the chairs for all those years?
That's the thing is Decker did it with like.
I think about that a lot. Like, okay, who was the chair?
That's what Decker was like. Okay, 22. That's
because like Mike Vonderhaar was 09 and he gave out umbrellas because we called him Rain Man. It rained all week.
Yeah.
Decker was 08. It's great in 08. Divot was 2014. Tony Carpitas 2018.
Who was Carpitas then? That was.
He had Michael Kim.
That's right.
Little did he know.
Sue was Sepp.
Sue had Sepp.
2020. Who was Divots in 2014?
Well, she had Brian Harmon.
People are now watching this going, these idiots are not even. This might as well just be a conversation.
Yeah. What the viewers don't know is there's a whiteboard back here, like a teleprompter.
We have Wheezy's got cue cards. We're just doing all that.
Wheezy's in the bathroom.
He with the door unlocked because there's no lock on the door. If anyone's wondering. Decker yesterday, and I'll let you go, but he was telling a story.
I got all day.
He talked about 2005. I'm like, give me a good story. He's like, 2005, Sean O'Hare wins the John Deere Classic. This is my Decker passport. Now I have a passport. He's like, so me and I swear it sounds like a mob guy, and it's somebody else, but he's like me and Tommy the Bull or whatever. But it was a guy. He's like, we make some phone calls. I get a hold of the White House, then things or whatever, and I'm like. You can't just like slide in. I got a hold of the White House. He goes, yeah, I got connections, but it's just his stories are. If anybody missed yesterday's show, when you go Claire Peterson, Decker Plain, and then Alex Studeman.
What was that? What Alex talk about?
He was great. He talked about thanks for watching. I know you're busy. He talked about, I wanted to get to 4. The story on 4 is amazing. I know we've heard about it. We've talked about it, but getting his insight of it wasn't just like, oh, that tree's bad. It was an 8-year process. And
they've been trying to protect it for a long time.
He said, he goes, we didn't want to have
Charlie Brown.
Great. We didn't want to have Charlie Brown's tree out in the middle. And then he's like, what it got to, what did they bring in? What did you guys bring in? The basically refrigerator for the side. They brought in some.
You think I'm an agronomist?
Yeah, I mean,
I run a golf tournament. I don't keep this place looking like it does.
You can't do concerts, golf, and
all I do is destroy their stuff.
The entire process of it is amazing, and like the weather and what it was like to getting it to where it's at. And he thought it'd be harder. We talked about that, the growth of like this place, and then for him, he went from like this was his baby to now he's got 14 kids, but. He's got a favorite kid. I do too. His name's Chase. But he's got, and this is places. I mean, he was just great. He was outstanding. We talked about how it weaves it because he goes all over the place.
Yeah.
How this place intertwines everything you need. And this is what a PGA Tour event should be.
From a golf course standpoint, not an agronomy standpoint, but a playability standpoint, this property you have to be able to hit every golf shot. You got to be able to work it left. You got to be able to work it right. Like I was in the trailer yesterday and Gotterup was in the right bunker. Shocked me that he must have tried to lay it back, but he was in the right bunker on 9. 1, that's not an easy shot because it's about 205 yards from there. And 2, you have to play this massive cut. And that's not something the everyday golfer can just be able to work the ball left, work the ball right. Yeah. And he hits this, I mean, he ends up over the back of the green, but he hits this perfect shot that just he wasn't rewarded for. And I'll be the first to tell you, not that I ever had a vote or I wasn't consulted. I thought the move to do this project this spring was really ambitious.
Yeah.
I voiced concern with non-expert, conviction, if you will.
Media day, I thought there was no way.
I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, this was a great fall project. But I'm telling you right now, Alex obviously knows.
What's the feedback? Did you get any from the golfers yesterday?
So I've asked some questions, and it's been really good. But publicly, nothing. And you know what that tells me? They love it.
Yeah,
it's been great. It's challenging.
The ones that birdied it were like, "Oh, I love it." The ones that bogeyed it probably don't like it.
Yeah. Well, you had a wide fairway, you had a tree in the middle. Those guys were bombing it on that golf hole, and to add 30 some yards and tighten the landing area, now you've got to make a decision. It's a risk reward.
Yeah.
And not everyone can carry it 330.
Yeah.
And we've had wind out of the south, so they're kind of hitting it off, wind off the right, India a little bit. And you stand back on that new tee. That is a challenging tee shot. You go over to the tee that they used to use over by the restroom, wide open.
Yeah.
Different. Just that 60 yards of the angle has made it. And they're not moving. They're playing over there all week.
It's now went from being an easier hole in this course to being one of the top 3, 4.
On the scorecard though for Deere Run, it was always like a top 6 handicap hole. Now for the amateurs, I think the green complex, you can't miss left. Right is no picnic. Long is dead. It's a narrow green to hit. But for these guys, for the pros, I've got a book over here that's got all the shot link data, from last year, and they tore that hole apart. I put it up there now with 9, 15, and 18.
Yep.
Kudos to Alex and the PGA Tour team and Jonathan for all the hard work, because Mother Nature probably wasn't the best to him, and then all of a sudden, hey, we get to the Sunday before advance week and it rains 3.25 inches, and now the humidity kicks in, and as we all know, the humidity makes everything soft. So for them to be able to have gotten it to a place where it's in the shape that it's in and it's playable, and you really don't even know that the hillside maybe with the fescue up there, next year will look a lot better. Yeah. But for guys that are playing the golf hole, that's no bearing on them.
I'm going to go up there today, and I think Weeze and I are going to go watch.
Go 2 guys. 3. Well, Zach's probably already. Did he go off 10 or 1?
He went off 10 today.
Okay, so I want you to go watch how Zach plays it.
He's probably right. Yeah,
because Zach can't. He's not carrying the bunkers.
Yeah, he didn't yesterday.
Okay,
he was short and I think kind of by him.
Yeah, so right. So I want you to see Zach play it. I want you to see Aldrich Potgieter play it.
Yeah.
And I want you to see Chris Gotterup play it. Because those 2 of those guys I think can take it on.
Yeah.
I saw the statistic on the broadcast last night. Why I go home and turn it on, I don't know, because I should just go to bed, and then it's, all of a sudden 11:30,
Yeah,
and
but you need to know.
4:40 comes pretty early. How many guys were blowing it down the fairway to the bottom of the hill on 9?
Oh, it was crazy.
Like, these guys are so good.
Was it Gotterup's drive on 18? Did you see where he ended up on there?
No.
He was just
How
he was
did-
120 out.
How did Jordan hit it in the water? I didn't see it, but
I don't think he planned on it, but I was told yesterday that some people that were watching him and following him for a while that he seemed uber aggressive.
I heard that. I think he's searching for something.
Yeah.
And I would use, so what would be fun today is if he finds it.
Yep.
Because Max Homa found it last year here. And
If
Max
he
Homa
finds
talks about that. I mean, my son, who's a YouTube golf fanatic, we can understand the game in different avenues, or we can get to the end of a PGA Tour event and I'll consume it through the broadcast and he's consuming it and he'll know exactly what happened, but he gets it in short clips and I get the entire experience. And he always was sending me all the clips from last year, and Max Homa was on with, I don't know if it was a good guys or whoever, Bob Does Sports, but he's like, at the John Deere, he's like, he walked into the property when he got here last year, and he hadn't been here, handful of years. He looked down.
Yeah.
And he left, and hopefully left with good vibes. Obviously he's back. He had 15,000 people pulling for him on Sunday last year.
Oh yeah, he did.
So,
and he will this year if he's in the same situation.
It's going to be fun to see how today unfolds and what we look like for the weekend.
Cut day here at the John Deere Classic. Cut day not here. I'm going to be staying here for the weekend, but
I did hear the quote that Claire wouldn't have let you be in here.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, and I know. And
that's Decker.
I
that line back where Decker said risk taker. He's right.
Exactly. So when it comes to that Claire and Andrew question that I keep asking everybody.
Claire.
I guess I gotta go Andrew, because
I know your vote.
Yeah, so we're good to go.
He wouldn't stiff you at your dad's golf outing, though.
Oh, next year.
Yeah, it'll work out,
Next
I'm sure.
year. Exactly. He's Andrew Lehman. He's got a busy weekend. You're doing a great job, bud.
Appreciate you.
We got a lot more to get to. You're watching OTA on Cut Day Friday out here at Deere Run. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. Friday at the John Deere Classic, round 2 of the JDC in full swing. An interesting and eventful leaderboard with the leader right now, a familiar face at the John Deere Classic. In his 24th appearance here at the JDC, right now Zach Johnson, your leader at 9 under par. He had a fantastic first round. Let's get caught up on what's going on when it comes to round 2 at the JDC and much more with our expert. Is that what we're calling you these days, Craig? You are officially our OTA JDC expert. I like that, right? You're on mute again. Unmute yourself. Craig, unmute yourself. Did you do it again?
I did it again. Oh, what an old
You
man
don't
move.
have to
What an old-
mute yourself. I control it all on this end. And like, at least I knew it was you. I feel like it's you, not me. It's like an old relationship from college. It's you, not me. Zach Johnson. I guess let's start with yesterday. Obviously, he's out there right now. We'll talk about how he's been doing today. But to watch what he did yesterday, and you've covered a lot of golf here at the JDC and with Zach at the JDC. Your thoughts on his performance? You had a great question for him afterwards. Was this the most gratifying round of golf for him here at Deere Run?
And he didn't bite. He didn't say that was the case. I mean, probably he's had so many great rounds. He's now had 64 rounds in the 60s at TPC Deere Run. He had that run of 39 straight rounds in the 60s. The man just golfs his ball around here. He's just incredible success at TPC Deere Run. And do you remember, Matt? I don't know. After he won the Masters in 2007, he came back in 2000 that year, and he came back in 2008. And in 2009, he was frustrated, and he talked about maybe pressing too much in front of the hometown fans. And then all of a sudden, he's runner-up to Stricker in 2009, and boom, he's off and running. And I mean really running. Horses for courses. This guy is just he's the secretariat of this golf course. I thought it was Stricker, but it's not. It's Zach.
It's funny because you look at what Zach is doing this year, and we'll talk about him out on the course now, but it for him, he seems
Hey, Matt,
so comfortable.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing this podcast has helped me understand just exactly how crooked my head is. I can't get my hats on straight. I've got a lot of flaws, but I didn't know that was one of them.
Craig,
but
Craig, when people come to watch you on the show, they don't expect much visually. Me either. Like
they're not here for my looks.
We're not here for either of our looks, so we're completely good. Zach, it feels like Zach's in a good spot mentally. Can you talk to that? Because he's come here, he's always comfortable here, he always wants to win here. The cliches we get every year, but for some reason, I mean, he's golfing well on the Champions Tour. 8 starts, 8 top 10 finishes, 2 victories. He seems really good mentally. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I asked him if he was energized, and again, he didn't bite. He gave a very Zach answer, a very detailed answer about how his process is. He felt like he was playing okay a year ago, and that he was working his way up to the champion, the PGA Tour champions, and the success that he's clearly had there. But I mean, he's 2 wins in Des Moines, incredible. He's got top 8s in all 8 starts. And he made it clear that he's going to play the Champions Tour the rest of the way, maybe play the RSM in his adopted hometown of Sea Island, Georgia in November. But up till then, he's trying to win the Charles Schwab Cup, which is a great goal for him. But I asked if he's energized by this, and he's no. But he's what he's discovered is he's obviously confident coming in here, and what he's confident in his process, and what he said is the work that's getting done and the work that makes him feel really confident is what he's doing in the gym to stay stay limber and obviously come out here and play with these young kids.
I got to ask you.
And then he goes out and beats up on the old guys.
We got to. We've been talking about it a little bit on the show today, and we've talked about it last night at dinner. If I didn't tell you ages, and we'll talk about another guy too with Lucas Glover, like Lucas feels like he's 56 sometimes talking to him and the way he is. He had a great day yesterday. He'll go off this afternoon.
Yeah, he did.
But another guy who knows success here at the John Deere Classic. Your thoughts on Lucas Glover and what he did in round one?
Impressive. He's you tend to forget how eloquent Lucas is and how great an interview he is and how open he is. And he's one of those old guys. We like old guys, by the way, Matt.
Yeah.
You're one.
I'm getting there.
And,
Trust me.
Yeah, and he's another horse for this course because he's really had some great success, even predating his 2021 win. And he loves this place, man. So it's kind of cool that he's able to come back here and he's been. You talk about a guy who's been through the ups, the downs, and the downs, and the ups and the downs. I think it was 14 years between wins, something like that. It was a very long stretch for a guy who has the U.S. Open on his resume. So and then he wins here and then he climbs back into the FedEx Cup in the top 100 in the world, and now he's a little outside it, and he comes back here, and I think he can. This place is it's the fountain of youth. How about that? Let's call it that.
Yes.
I just gave away my lead for today when Zach's on top. Oh.
I won't steal it from you.
Zach Johnson, don't steal that, you son of a buck.
Zach Johnson is right now at 9 under. Tom Kim is at 8 under. And you look at this leaderboard right now,
that's fantastic.
Craig, and Tom Kim playing good. He's at 8 under. And I'm telling you, Chris Gotterup is just I go back to the movie Rounders. He's just hanging around, but he's right where he needs to be. He's at 7 under right now with more golf to be played. He gets to 8, 9 under, and one of the best players in the entire field looks really good going into the weekend. Your thoughts on the leaderboard right now, and maybe a couple guys like Tom Kim and Chris Gotterup?
Yeah, he's like if the runner-up gives us the KGB code. Quote, pay the man his money.
Yes.
Checks.
Check. No, exactly.
No, it's an interesting leaderboard. I mean, there was after the early morning round with Lee Hodges and Harry Higgs. There was the national folks were saying, okay, it's already a Challenger Series event, but that's nonsense. We know. This is a great leaderboard. We got Chris Gotterup at T6, and Tom Kim. I mentioned the Fountain of Youth and the old guys getting it done, but Tom Kim, he from the time he got on tour, and you remember the President's Cup moment where he made the putt and slammed it, and he plays the game with a certain joy, and I hope he keeps it. It's sometimes there's been some question about whether that is going to happen because he reminds me of Sergio Garcia back when he was challenging Tiger Woods at Medina. He hits the shot, hits the shot from the tree, and that does a scissor jump to go see where it's going to land. And he's doing this to Tiger. And then there were moments. I remember he played with Freddie at the Masters, and he hits a shot at 16 that looks like it could, they had been coming back. And he looks at Freddie, goes, should I run and get that? Freddie goes, sure. Just messing with him.
Yeah. And
off Sergio goes, he goes running. Tom Kim reminds me of that. I mean, Sergio obviously turned into one of the surliest dudes in golf, all of golf, and that's a shame because he once was a joyful kid. And Tom Kim kind of brings that same vibe when things are going good and he's having fun and he's messing with Scotty and he's messing with Jordan and he's chatting with all the guys. I talked to his pro-am partners on Wednesday. They said he was delightful. So Tom Kim would be. I'd love to see Tom Kim be our defending champion next year.
Craig DeVrieze joining us from the media center right now.
Strong board and Chris Gotterup look at his driving stats. Oh my God, he hit it past the hole on 14. He was in the collection area, but he hit it past, drove it past the hole. Unbelievable.
Yeah, no,
Good
I
player.
think
Really
on
good
18
player.
yesterday.
Likes this course.
On 18 yesterday, he hit that thing down by almost the lake or the pond on 18.
Into the wind.
Into
the wind.
Don't see that very often. So he's going to be fascinating to watch this weekend. Craig, I want to ask you before you get out of here a couple more. Your thoughts on what you've heard about 4. We're kind of watching Zach in the background. He's on 4 right now. It's funny. Somebody there was a headline that said like a polarizing 4. And it was like, well, yeah, probably if you birdied it yesterday, they liked it. If you bogeyed it, they probably don't like it. What's the feedback? What are you hearing about the changes out at 4?
Good and bad. I mean, I asked Davis Thompson on Pro-Am Day. He said, I missed the tree. And that's what he said. Glover had a great answer. He said, I birdied it. I love it. Zach obviously gave his typical nuanced answer. It's a more challenging hole. There's no question. I don't know. I didn't get the hole stats from yesterday, but I know it had to play top 5, like as Todd predicted, maybe even top 3. At one point, that's where it was. I'm very invested in number 4 as a part-time employee out here at Deere Run. I would run out there every time there's a break.
Have you gotten
out there? I would run out there and see how far they're going along. I haven't had to play it, obviously. Yeah. I don't want to.
No, right?
But,
have you gone out and seen it like in person?
Come in. Pardon me?
Have you watched anybody in person? Like this afternoon, Scott Weiss and I are going to go out to 4.
I haven't been out there to see anybody play it yet, but I may do that. But, I did talk to some folks about the Hewitt tree and what that symbolizes and what that means. And, Bill Hewitt stood on that tee as the golf course was being shaped. DA had already decided to leave the tree in and create that double fairway, and it is iconic. And it was 16 is a signature hole, but with that tree, so was 4.
Yeah.
Tied to Bill Hewitt was the last co-chair with the tie to the family. They own the property. Anna Wolf, I believe, told Archie Lovell during a visit here a few years ago, went out to see the tree. She said they planted it, and Claire Peterson said he believes that could easily be true because Bill Hewitt told him kids planted trees all over the property. So it's a great story. It's a direct tie to John Deere's own self. And so it was iconic, and it's missed, but the change of the hole is obviously going to make this golf course play a little harder. And I think ultimately it requires more strategy. I love when Zach referred to the tree as the Dikembe Mutombo tree because it blocks some shots.
Which I enjoyed because that brought us back to the old guy thing again. That was more of a guy in our era. Craig, it's funny you mentioned too that Davis Thompson said he misses the tree. And that was it. That might be his longest quote here at Deere Run, even when he won. No, I'm kidding. He's a short, soft-spoken guy. That's all I'm saying. He's a very good guy, but that might be the longest quote you've ever gotten from him. I missed the tree. I missed the tree. Yeah, that's about it. That's his quota. Yeah. The biggest question.
What I discovered with him the stops is you want to talk to his wife.
Yes.
She's the great quote.
Oh, wonderful. Before we let you go, the biggest question that I have to ask you, and inquiring minds want to know here, can you look over and see what's lunch?
I can smell it, but I can't taste it. It looks
like
maybe pasta.
Pasta?
I had it wrong last time. Matt, you're going to come eat it no matter what. You know it.
Well, did you say pasta? Are you stereotyping me? Are you telling the Italian kid that there's pasta in the media room? I'm coming regardless. It doesn't need to be spaghetti.
I thought you were Irish.
I'm half Irish. I didn't know. Half Irish, half Italian. You nailed it. You did. So that's my temper.
I am too. DeVrieze. I'm half Irish.
I love it. Craig, I appreciate it. Enjoy everything you're doing.
I want to point out.
Yeah.
I think if Tom Kim were to get in front of Zach Johnson, just in front of Zach Johnson or time, and he has top position on the leaderboard, I think you need to screenshot that for Zach because it's going to say Kim Johnson.
Oh.
And that's his wife.
Well done.
Right? Yes.
Well done. Give me, before we let you go.
This is a family event.
This is midway through round 2-ish, not quite midway. You complained I asked you for your winner before we started. It's easier now because we're a round and a half in. Give me a winner on Sunday. If I had to ask you at 11:09 on a Friday.
It's not going to be Keith Mitchell, okay? There was a guy in his group that led the tournament after or was in contention, and that was the old guy.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be Keith Mitchell, who I picked. I just sentimentally love for it to be Zach.
Yeah.
I would really, really enjoy for it to be Kim. It would be great for the tournament if it's Goddard, but Lucas. Let's go with Lucas.
I like it. I think a lot of people would be happy with Lucas Glover winning here at the John Deere Classic. Craig, save me some food. I'll see you soon, buddy. Thanks, pal.
Talk Monday?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll see you on Monday. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks,
good.
buddy. Be good.
Bye.
That is Craig DeVrieze in the media center. Smells like pasta is what he said. So take that for what it's worth, Weezy. It smells like pasta. We'll be up there to check it out here in just a little bit. Oh, there's Lehman. Hold on. I got to go back. I'm back. Hey, there's Andrew Lehman. He's up in the media center. That's great. All right.
He just wonders and how good his hat looks on him. He just sexy man.
He's the best. Thanks, guys. I look down and there's Andrew Lehman. Oh my goodness, we've officially reached Friday here at the John Deere Classic. We got more to get to. Coming up, another guy that made his way here in the Quad Cities as a fantastic sports writer. He's working with WQED right now. Bobby Metcalf will join us here out at the Stonehouse coming up as we keep talking John Deere Classic on a Friday. We'll be back right after this word from Lindquist Ford and more. For over 65 years, Lindquist Ford has proudly served the Quad Cities, and they're just getting started. Looking for a new ride? Check out a healthy mix of new and quality pre-owned vehicles ready for you. Need service? Skip the waiting room. With free pickup and delivery and mobile service, they come to you. No delays, no hassle. From routine maintenance to a full-service collision repair shop, it's fast, friendly, reliable, and always transparent. Lindquist Ford, serving the Quad Cities since 1959. Experience the difference today.
Hey, I'm the Crawford guy.
Ooh, do you guys always speak at the same time?
Sorry, guys. I'll go first. You know, if you need help with your heating or air conditioning,
or electrical,
or plumbing, Crawford Company can solve your problem.
But what about your problem?
What problem?
Do you not hear yourselves? Take it from me, the Crawford lady.
And me, the Crawford guy.
Crawford is the comfort company.
This summer, light the fuse on something bigger than fireworks. It's red, white, and you at the John Deere Classic. July 1st through 5th with world-class golf and 4th of July energy you can feel. Wednesday is Youth Day and kids 15 and under get in free with a paid adult. After golf, concerts on the course rocks the weekend. Carrie Underwood, headlines and All-American 4th of July celebration. And Old Dominion closes out Sunday. Stars, stripes, summer tradition. Get tickets now before they're gone at johndeereclassic.com.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. Friday at the John Deere Classic as well. It's cut day here at JDC as we have round 2 of the John Deere Classic. We are once again live in the Stonehouse, Andrew Lehman's office, as we continue to focus on the John Deere Classic this week. Great golf here in the Quad Cities. Concerts coming up this weekend. One of my favorite parts of the week is that you see familiar faces, not just golfers, but non-golfers alike and media members. Good friends as well. Joining me right now, Bobby Metcalf, former longtime sports writer here in the Quad Cities, and now a producer in Columbus, back here in the Quad Cities, helping out at WQED once again. Hi, friend. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you in person. I've seen you over computer screens like so many times the last year, but it's good to be back here.
No,
and see you in
absolutely. This event in general, and obviously you're in Columbus now, but getting the opportunity to come back, obviously a no-brainer for you. Just kind of talk about the fit and knowing. I mean, you've covered this on so many different aspects, from the writing and that side of things to the side of TV as well. No-brainer to come back?
Yeah, no. I mean, as soon as the opportunity came around, I was like, yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to miss it. This is my 14th one. You know, my first one was Spieth's first win in 13.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, if there's a way for me to come back and way for me to help out and not miss a John Deere Classic, like I was all over it. So
a good event. You just got done covering. Help me here, not just the Memorial. You got done the Memorial in Columbus. I hate to compare and contrast. It's obviously when it comes to stature on the tournament and names and stuff, the Memorial is going to have more. Did you find yourself when you're covering the Memorial comparing and contrasting to here and vice versa?
Yeah, I mean you can't help but not to, right? The Memorial was a fantastic event. Yeah. I mean, as you mentioned, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. I mean, it was like 8 of the top 10 golfers in the world were there. It was a great tournament. And yet at the end of the day, look who won. JT Poston, former John Deere champion. Yeah. I was kind of lauding up to the Classic that whole week, and especially when JT won, I was like 2022 JDC champion, so that was great. Differences. It's obviously just a different course, and you get a Memorial, and it's like, man, it's a crazy golf course. Yeah. It's beautiful. I mean, I love TPC Deere Run, but Muirfield Village is something else. Jack's place, but for the most part, it was pretty much the same thing. We do what we do. We put on a show and had a good time. So
this tournament, I mean, I think field wise and obviously coming off the Memorial for you, it's a different aspect. But when you look at the John Deere Classic for what it is, it's a really good field. Coming in, before we talk about yesterday's headlines, coming into this year, your thoughts on the field as you got ready for, and you've been through a lot of them. You've been through, when you go through the 14 years of covering it, and there's been years where sponsor exemptions are odds-on favorites to win when you look at Victor Hovland. Your thoughts on what the field was early on?
I thought it was a really strong field. I mean, you said 8 of the top 50 guys who've been playing really well. I said JT coming off of Memorial and the U.S. Open tied 4. I mean, that's a huge get, and you got defending champ Brian Campbell, but and even the guys who are outside of the top 50, where you've got Max Homa and Ricky. I mean, those guys were here last year, and that brought a huge thing. But yeah, you got Chris Goddard, Ben Griffin. A lot of other guys in that top 50, which was great. I know there's a lot of time maybe it's the best field it's ever had. Maybe it is. I still think the best year overall they had was Spieth, when Spieth came back that year, when he was possibly going for the British, and they were saying, should he go over to Scotland early? And he came here, and the massive, the massive people, the massive media following that was there, Bill Murray, the Pro-Am. I still think that was kind of the one that sticks out to me. Is just the overall really successful one, and but this has been a great field, and you talk about, we'll get into the highlights, but yesterday was a heck of a day too.
I've always said 2015 from start to finish is the best year at the John Deere Classic because of the Bill Murray and Jordan Spieth, and he's not going to come. And then we had Claire on yesterday talking about getting that phone call after he won the U.S. Open, and he's thinking there's no way this guy is going to come and continue. And he's like, hey, make sure I have 3 spots on the jet. And he's like, it was that moment for him. Bobby Metcalf joining us on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Yesterday's headline, I'm a Zach Johnson big fan. I've gotten to know him a little bit. Your thoughts on Zach, because I think aren't you in the camp that he probably had a different option this week that might have been more advantageous for him?
He could be in Columbus, Ohio. He could be in Columbus, Ohio right now, probably trying to contend for a...
Well, I heard Bobby was going to be here.
I know.
If Bobby was in Columbus, he would have gone to Columbus. He just wanted to see you.
I know, it's true. I mean, he said, as long as the JDC wants me back, and I said, as long as Zach Johnson's the JDC, I'll be here. It's a two-way street. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, he could be playing for U.S. Senior Open right now. Yeah. And the guy's playing so well in his first year on the tour. He's second in the Charles Schwab Cup standings. He won at Principal a couple weeks ago. And I was kind of thinking, man, that's a big opportunity to pass up to come here. But obviously, this is his hometown tournament. I mean, he said he's lived in Davenport briefly for a time.
I think he was born in Davenport.
I might have been born in Davenport.
Yeah, I think his dad was at Palmer and he was born in Davenport.
And, he's on the board. And as he said on Wednesdays, as long as the JC wants me back, I'll be back. Mm-hmm. And that's a really big statement of commitment and just loyalty and what this tournament means. And I think that's what makes the John Deere Classic special, is that you hear that from a lot of guys, not just Zach. It's this tournament's great. Love the big dig. Guys come back. I mean, a lot of times, they get really hype in the rankings, but guys come back here all the time. They love it here.
Yeah. Zach Johnson won a Masters by laying up on the par 5s. I know he's a different golfer when it comes to the younger, bigger hitters that are out here at Deere Run. But can he win? I don't say can't he. Can he win a John Deere Classic being Zach Johnson and putting together? I mean, I don't know if another 64 is in the cards today, but what's the ceiling, I guess, for Zach Johnson this week? And be honest.
I mean, being Zach Johnson can win you out here. I mean, he's the most successful golfer here outside of Stricker.
Yeah.
That said, I mean, he's 50, so there's the kind of where you think the ceiling is. But he's playing well. I mean, you and I have talked a lot of times when we would come back here in the last few years, his game wasn't in the right spot, and we kind of were like, man, he's like, I feel like I'm close, but not there. He came in here and he's like, I'm playing great. So
8 starts on the Champions Tour, 8 top 10s, 2 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, and we talked about it last segment a little bit with Andrew Lehman. It's not like the senior tour has worse defense. You know what I mean? Like it's still golf. Yeah. Like the game of golf is remaining the same. So
there's a guy who won a major in his 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's doable. I think it's a lofty expectation to think that he's going to come in and win this tournament this year. But I mean, I think ceiling is an easy ceiling that he can even bust through top 10.
Yeah. Let's go from the 2012 champion to, I believe I can look at Weezy, the 2021 Glover 2021 because he was right out of COVID. Lucas Glover's in the lead after the first round on Thursday. I joked with, I think we joked at dinner last night. You were there with us that like, if you would have told you, and I'm going to look at Weezy when I asked this, if you would have told me like maybe before Zach turned 50, who's older, Lucas Glover or Zach Johnson? I would have said, well, Lucas Glover's older than Zach.
I thought the exact same thing yesterday.
But still same situation, 46 years old, just an older gentleman, if that's the right term, to see him play the way he played. Your thoughts on what Lucas Glover did yesterday?
I think it's great. He's a great guy. I have nothing but respect for Lucas Glover. That's kind of the big story here in the start out the week is the old guys kind of dominating. I mean, Lucas Glover's it's his best opening round here in his career. And this is a course where if you every guy's always say it, go out there, make some pars and make the birdies when you have an opportunity. Don't make bogeys. And that's what Zach does. That's what Lucas Glover does. Like that, this course sets up really well for these guys.
A guy who didn't do that yesterday was Jordan Spieth. Where and I had people say he was very aggressive. I didn't get to watch. I think I watched him on one hole. Your thoughts on Jordan? And now you go back 2013. Yeah. He almost gave a mulligan in the first round and won. 2015 the same way. Really did. I think he shot even par 71 in 2015 and then ended up winning the thing. Probably more difficult to do this year with the field the way it is and those kind of things. You didn't want to do that. Is he close? Is he crazy? Is he like? And I love him. He's my favorite. He's one of my favorite golfers. But like, is it a mental thing for him right now?
I mean, without knowing the guy,
the two of us are sitting here talking about golfers.
I mean, it feels like when you're watching from the outside, it is.
Yeah.
But this has always been kind of who Jordan is. I mean, I finally saw the recycling bin shot.
Yeah.
The whole thing yesterday, and it's like if you tell me blind rank, or blind to ask me, hey, somebody hit their ball into the recycling bins and then went on and made birdie on the hole. Like I was like, it's Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
But that's who he's been. I mean, you think about
and then on 18, he hits perfect drive down the fairway and then double bogeys.
Yeah.
It's just that's crazy.
You think about that's who he was like in 15. You think about that shot on 17, that whole 17. I think it was on when he puts his ball into the trees, punches out, and then holes out for eagle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's who he is. That's who he's always been. He's this guy who, like, I think I saw someone describe him as the best version of like you and me.
Yeah.
Like he hits some shots where like this guy's on the PGA Tour, and then he hits a shot like, okay, that's why he's on the PGA Tour. So that's kind of always who he's been. It's just it seems like it gets more attention now because of who he is. But so I'm not going to say it's mental, but that's it's interesting.
I will argue that the most impressive performance yesterday, or one of the most impressive performances yesterday, was a guy that finished 2 under, because Ben Griffin finished 2 under with a quad bogey on 14, and he turned it around quickly. Yeah. He's one of the best golfers in this tournament. Obviously, that's going to be frustrating. Can you quadruple bogey 14 on a Thursday and win a John Deere Classic?
Yes. 100%.
So you still think he can be? He goes out there and he shoots, 500-600 today, and he's in this.
Yes,
thing.
He was 4 over after that. He was 4 over through 5 holes.
Yeah,
and he finished 6 under the rest of the tournament.
He was 2 over by the time he got to us out here on 2. So be it 15, 16, 17, 18, 1 in 6 holes. He had turned that. He'd gotten 4 strokes back.
Yeah, because he eagled 17.
Yeah,
and then but like. that's incredible to have that mental fortitude to have what happens on 14 and then come back and not let it snowball after getting a snowman and finish 200. He's got the talent and he's 6 shots back, but you go out and shoot 65 today and a couple of Glover's going off in the afternoon. Those guys are probably not going to go low in the afternoon. Suddenly you're kind of right back in this thing.
I wanted to ask you morning to afternoon, and we had Alex Studeman here yesterday, and he's like, we want it to be equal, and I get that, I understand that. But yesterday, the morning, you looked and there's 8 unders, 7 unders, 6 unders. You looked at the afternoon, Zach's there at 7 under, but then there's a definite drop off. Is it advantageous this morning to get out there and to put a low number? I know they want the course to play the same 2 out. Wanting and having that being is 2 different things.
That's how it is in every golf course, though. And you look at every tournament, it's always the guys who go out early, go out and shoot low. Then the course toughens up in the afternoon. The wind picks up, and guys don't shoot as well. That's how every tournament. Yes, you'd love.
At least it's the same for both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Because you flip it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same day, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean,
We're getting Wheezy a microphone next week.
So the guys like Glover who went out and shot 8 under in early conditions are not going to go out late in the tougher conditions, and that's how it always is. Now with the rain that came through yesterday, I don't know how soft the greens are. I don't think it got rained too much, but that may be interesting here early. But yeah, yes, you'd love it to play the same way for both groupings, but that's just never going to happen.
All right, let's do a little what's this weekend look like. So I'm going to do a few yes or no's or quick questions of rapid fire. Jordan Spieth will make the cut, yes or no?
Yes.
Jordan Spieth will finish in the top 20, yes or no?
No.
Ben Griffin will finish in the top 10, yes or no? Who will win this year's John Deere Classic?
Oh. Wow.
I didn't see on the field. Is he on the field list?
I'll say Chris Gotterup.
I think he's in a I really like after, and I didn't look at I could hop on his sleeve. Let's look real fast. And these are maybe a little dated, but I was wondering after last year, the round last week or yesterday, because I want to say Ben Griffin was favored to win coming in, but I bet you Gotterup's probably still right up there when it comes to those kind of things as well. Nothing like looking at the gambling odds in the tournament director's office Gotterup is that coming into today after round 1 is still the favorite to win. Zach Johnson went from being 12,500 to being plus 1,650.
Look, 5 years ago, Zach Johnson shoots just a 64 to open the tournament, and I'd say he's the favorite. I mean, I don't think the guy thinks he's 50.
Yeah.
But man, he talks like he thinks he's 50.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I want a card out there, and man, I got to play 4 days, and But it was funny because he was asked while playing, the 4th round. He was like, whoa, let me make the cut first. But he's talking like he's in his like late 50s, like he can barely walk, and he's but he's still playing good golf.
Last but not least, is there a golfer that has caught your eye, and this maybe I'll give you a second to think, that caught your eye that we didn't know a lot about that we'll know more about by the end of this weekend?
Well, I mean, Zach Blair is interesting. He U.S. Open and then Korn Ferry. I mean, he's bouncing back and forth. I mean, that's interesting. He comes out and shoots a 63 to match. We're kind of learning a little bit about him. I think Celia said last night he built his own golf course. So that's So I think we're going to learn more about him here this week. And then I think this is a guy a lot of people had their eye on coming in. Wasn't quite sure how he'd do, but Preston Stout, the amateur.
Yeah.
He goes out and shoots low. Yesterday, this is a guy who has had a lot of attention, and this is a place where amateurs have played really well. Jackson Coyven, top 5 last year. Luke Clanton played well when he was here as an amateur. So this is a place where these guys sometimes come out and the lights don't get too bright. It was funny though, because like Jackson Coyven did what he did last year, comes out this year and shoots 1 over. And I think we asked him, were the butterflies there a little different? It's a little different feeling when you're standing over the ball, and every shot you hit now is you're playing for money. So it's an interesting way to turn about.
He reminded me yesterday of Luke Clanton. Clanton played well, came back. People had high expectations, didn't play great early last year. Kind of the same thing with Jackson Coyven this year as well. Bobby Metcalf, you'll be around all weekend. Enjoy the tournament.
Always good.
Thanks for doing this in person.
Absolutely.
Move back. No need to go back to Columbus. Move back. The Quad Cities loves you. So, Bobby, appreciate it.
Thanks.
We got a lot more to get to. You're watching OTA on a Friday right here in the Quad Cities.
This summer, light the fuse on something bigger than fireworks. It's red, white, and you at the John Deere Classic. July 1st through 5th with world-class golf and 4th of July energy you can feel. Wednesday is Youth Day and kids 15 and under get in free with a paid adult. After golf, concerts on the course rocks the weekend. Carrie Underwood, headlines, and All-American 4th of July celebration. And Old Dominion closes out Sunday. Stars, stripes, summer tradition. Get tickets now before they're gone at johndeereclassic.com.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. Thank you for watching so far. We've had a great week out here at the John Deere Classic. Again, it's cut day out here at the JDC. Round 2 officially underway in full swing. Right now, the leader atop of the leaderboard is none other than Zach Johnson. He is at 9 under. He came in 7 under after round 1. So 2 under right now. He's actually 1 over on his second 9 right now. He's on the front side on 6 right now with a birdie opportunity. He'll have 7, 8, and 9 to see if he can get to maybe 10, 11 under heading into the weekend. Right now at 9 under. But some interesting names. Obviously, Lucas Glover still there at 8 under. He tees off this afternoon. Chris Gotterup, though, one of the best players here in the field, is now at 8 under as well, just 1 stroke back. And it's going to be a fantastic leaderboard after cut day. Of course, we'll start talking about the cut a little more as well. Ricky Fowler is at 2 under. Right now, that's where the cut line is. Usually 3 under, right, Weezy? Feels like 3, 4 under. So I don't know if 2 is 3. Yeah, but right now I think it's going to be 2 is what it is. So you look at a Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth will tee off later on this afternoon. He's at 1 under going into today. So that's kind of the focus. We'll be looking at the top of the leaderboard and who's winning, but of course we'll be sticking around for the weekend as well. I do want to get to some of the pairings for this afternoon. Stay right there. That's TV at its finest. Coming up, if you're coming out this afternoon at 12:23, JT Poston, Bridgman, and Eric Cole will all be teeing off. Gotterup just got to 9 under. Thank you, Scott Weiss. At 12:34, the defending champion Brian Campbell, Davis Thompson, and Max Homa tee off at 12:34, and then at 12:45, so all back to back, Ben Griffin, Jordan Spieth, and Jackson Coyben go off at 12:45 off of T1. So if you're coming out here to the John Deere Classic, overcast right now, weather looks to be okay. There's some showers in the area, but nothing that's going to halt play and nothing that should prevent you guys from coming out of the John Deere Classic by any stretch of the imagination. If anything, it'll make things feel a little better after the heat the last couple days as well. We want to thank everyone out here at the John Deere Classic for allowing us to take over these last 3 days, especially Andrew Lehman, who was on the show earlier earlier. It's been a lot of fun. Second year they've allowed me to do this. Over the weekend, we might hop back on and have a quick, little mini show throughout the weekend, but mainly we'll be focused on Monday. We'll talk with Andrew Lehman on Monday, with Craig DeVrieze on Monday, and then get back to some other Quad City sports as well coming up on Monday. But we'll recap everything when it comes to the 55th John Deere Classic. Again, thank you to Andrew Lehman for being on today's show, as well as Bobby Metcalf and Craig DeVrieze as well. Most importantly, thank you guys for watching, and thank you to our sponsors for allowing us to do this goofy show each and every weekday at 10 a.m. Have a great 4th of July weekend, and we'll see you guys back here on Monday.